I wanted to shoot a quick video and review a couple flashlights, specifically this Pelican 7600C and the Streamlight ProTac HL USB. I've got this other Streamlight Stry on here just to compare the size, and that's the reason I have this other stuff on my workbench too. It's just as a size comparison, so you can get an idea of the size of these flashlights. This Streamlight here, this is my son's. He's 13. I got it for him for Christmas, and I bought him this light because I have the same light and I love it, and it was a real easy decision to make to get him that light. Since then, I bought this Pelican 7600C, and I bought this for my 7-year-old son for his birthday. And you know, I just thought, what 7-year-old couldn't use a flashlight like this? I originally was going to get him a Streamlight ProTac HL USB as well. You know, we already have these around. We have the charging cord, so I was going to get a Streamlight. But I started, doing the typical online research. I started looking at this light, and I saw some features, and ended up getting this light. So here's the reasons I ended up getting this light. Is I'm glad that I got it. It's a really nice light. For starters, I like the indicator light that it has right here. It gives you an indication of how much battery life you have. You get a green light to show that you have over 50% battery life. If you have between 25% and 50%, then it gives you this yellow. And if you have less than 25%, it changes to red. So that's kind of nice to have an idea how much battery life you have left. And you don't get that with your with the Streamlight. This light also has different lighting options. It gives you a red light and it gives you a blue light. And of course, my son found that if you toggle this collar in between the red and blue, then you get both at the same time. I don't personally need that for anything, but if you did, I think they make a cone that you can, for traffic control or something like that, if you needed that. It does have it. Not a deal breaker for me at all, but it's there. This port, I wanted to point out as probably the biggest negative I could see to this light at this point. And it's just for the fact that that's a place where dirt and things are probably going to collect, especially if you were in a sandy environment. Then I could see the sand eventually could cause some issues. There's a little O-ring in there that keeps the junk out of your charging port. So it's just something to think about, the conditions that you're in. That may eventually be a point where stuff can get into your light there. But it's early to tell, and it feels good. It's got lots of grease in there. It makes a good click between each setting, and then it gives you access to the port. So I like that overall, but I would say that's probably the biggest negative thing I've seen about this light. The clip, it's a very stiff clip. I like how it's integrated into the flashlight. The tail cap comes off, and that's how you get to the clip if you want to take it on or off. I will tell you that if you take this tail cap off, be really careful when you put it back on, because there's an O-ring in there. The tolerances are really tight, and I noticed the O-ring wanting to pinch when I put the tail cap back on. So just watch that you don't pinch that O-ring in there. The functions of the light, it's similar to the Streamlight. You have different programming functions, and you change the program by a series of pushes on the tail cap. The instructions are pretty easy to follow. Just make sure that you push it fast enough, because it took me a while to change the programming for my son. The clicks need to be, or the pushes need to be pretty fast, but it tells you that. And you can change between, I think, 4 different settings to give you either a strobe or not a strobe, high, medium, low, low, medium, high, that type of thing. The Streamlight, I believe, has 3 different settings, and I believe some of the settings are different than the Pelican. So if you're really concerned about how the light functions, how it cycles through its settings, then you would want to look at the specific settings that are available on each one, because that could be a deal breaker for you. This one, like I said, has 3. The Pelican, I think, has 4, and they're different. So just look up the specific ones if that's something you're really concerned about, having it configured a certain way. The clip on this one's a little softer. It clips to the body of the light. I think that could pop off of there if you really torqued on it under normal conditions. I don't think it's going anywhere. It would be easy to remove if you wanted to take it on and off all the time. It'd be a little easier to remove. But overall, I like the Pelican just because the way it's integrated in there. But it's, once again, that in itself is not a deal breaker for me. It's just different. Same thing to change the functions. You have a series of presses on the tail cap to change the way the light cycles. It's really cool. This has the collar that slides down and gives you access. It's got an O-ring in there to keep everything out. The charging cord plugs in there. I was very happy to see that the charging cord was the same for both lights, so that made it really nice, because it's just nice if you already have a charging cord for one that you can use it on the other one, or if you happen to have one if you go somewhere, that's going to work on both lights. So for us, that was definitely a positive thing to find that it's the same charger for both lights. The light output, the Pelican is rated a little bit higher. It's in the 900 range. The Streamlight is 850. Using both of them, I would say that they're really close and it's really hard to tell the difference. So I wouldn't base my decision just based on that alone. But if I had to give a nod to one, the Pelican is slightly brighter, but you literally have to hold them side by side and have them both on and look at them and then say, okay, yeah, the Pelican might be just a little bit brighter. But they're really similar. They're both really bright. They're both kind of a wide beam versus a spotlight that's going to reach out a long ways. They light up the backyard really well. They light up a room really well. So I think that if that's what you're buying it for, you're going to be really happy with it. If you're buying it to look across your field at something, that's not what these lights are for. You need a spotlight for that. So let's see. The only other thing I can think of is the price point. The Pelican, it was a little bit cheaper, at least what I was able to find online delivered to my door. I actually found the Pelican for right at about $70. And the Streamlight, I don't think I've ever seen one less than $90. I paid in the $90 range for the two different ones that I bought. And the Pelican is similar in price, but through some online searching, I was able to find it for $70. So you're going to save a little bit of money. I don't know if I talked about the size of the lights. It's really close. It wouldn't be a deal breaker for me, but you can see that the Pelican is just a little bit shorter, and than the Streamlight, but the Streamlight's just a little bit narrower. So if you had a specific holder or something, that may affect your decision, but overall they're very similar. They're just slightly different in overall size. Well, those are the main differences that I can see in the lights. If I had to buy one tomorrow, I would buy another Pelican based on everything that I just talked about, but I definitely wouldn't hesitate to buy a Streamlight. And if I had some particular reason, I wouldn't hesitate to buy another Streamlight either. But if I was buying one tomorrow, I would buy another Pelican. So I hope this helps if you're on the fence like I was. Thanks for watching.